Hello, guys. Today is Wednesday, 7th of February, and it's another Kleros community call. Lots of different things for this week, but I'm going to let this time start by William, who already told me he has to leave. So by special request of William, I will let him start with his presentation today. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for being accommodating. So I'm continuing to think a lot about the soulbound token kind of weighting approach that I described in a blog article that we published a couple weeks ago. So this is, again, this idea that in order to be drawn in certain courts, that use certain modules in Kleros 2.0, you should have some kind of soulbound token that attests to your expertise. And then either that might be like a clear just requirement, you need this soulbound token to be drawn in this court, or conceivably, in some cases, you could have many relevant soulbound tokens, and you want to sort of weight the drawing so that you get different points of view. Like maybe you have about a case that involves some kind of web development skills, but it also involves knowledge about marketplaces, and you want to make sure that you have sort of those different points of view represented. And then the sort of question is how do you do this weighting, and what's attack resistant, which is something again that I described in the blog article we published a couple weeks ago. And I've been thinking a lot about this sort of ideas that I evoke at the end of that article, where I draw inspiration from some sort of embryonic ideas of Glenn Weil and his collaborators, who sort of brought up the whole soulbound token weighting thing and their approaches of quadratic funding in the first place, where they want to use spectral clustering and kind of basic level machine learning tools to do this kind of social weighting. And then the question is in Kleros, if you do that, how, what would happen? Are you going to get a better weighting that's more representative of the community? Is it attack resistant? What happens if someone can corrupt one of the soulbound tokens? It's being distributed, and they can award it to their friends. What happened? How does that if you're doing this sort of graph clustering algorithm with this sort of basic machine learning tool, how resistant is it to these kinds of data poisoning attacks? So there are a lot of fascinating ideas there that touch on the intersection between Kleros and machine learning.
Thank you, William. Machine learning and interactions with Kleros. So this is something we have been researching for a while now. First time we thought about that was in 2018 when we did the Dodges on Trial pilot, and back then we started using some image recognition tools to detect if an image that was submitted was a Dodge or not, and so there were some situations where AI worked well, others where it didn't. And over time, we have always been exploring this type of interaction because in the practical dispute systems design of the future, they are going to be made of a combination of technologies, including AI and Kleros for sure. We have here one of our community members, Rob, who has actually been dirtying his hands with these tools. He developed a GPT bot called Harmony that is based on the methodology of the Kleros mediation bridge that we wrote together, which is a mediation arbitration process that proceeds as a mediation procedure, and when there is no agreement or settlement between parties, then this onboards the dispute into a arbitration process. So I don't know, Rob, maybe you want to, since you are here, explain a bit what Harmony is and how it implements these ideas?
Yeah, sure thing. So like you were saying there, Fede, basically Harmony has been developed following on from the concepts of the mediation bridge. So back in the summer last year, we pulled together some demonstrations of the mediation bridge, and we had a few case examples. Now, in creating those case examples, I had essentially a framework put together for that. But at that point in time, we were only on GPT 3.5, and there were no sort of API access for GPT-4 or any sort of developments along those lines. So a lot of the groundwork came in to actually that part of the process in the summer. And since then, obviously things are moving extremely quickly in the space of AI. I've been keeping on top of things as best as I can, and I essentially have built this first version of a mediator that will essentially allow the parties to involve a human to sort of moderate alongside, should they wish, or if they don't necessarily want to involve a mediator alongside, they can run a fully fledged mediation using the GPT as the mediator. And one of the particular sort of benefits that you can do currently, given that it is working within the OpenAI app, is that you can actually talk to it in natural conversation, and it transcribes with incredible accuracy, pretty quick. There are still there is a bit of a lag, so it's not quite like talking to a human, but it genuinely proves the concept that, as the time sort of goes on with these things, it's only going to get slicker. We're going to have bigger context windows. We're going to have quicker, better audio processing. The areas where it currently is less desirable, it won't be long, I don't think, personally, until these things are pretty much good fit for purpose. So, it's an exciting concept. It's something that we initially talked about. The idea being is, with the mediation bridge, that you have real life human mediators conducting this process, and then should the parties reach an impasse, they then the human mediator would then help collate either the rank choice or the binary options for voting on Kleros. So this is merely demonstrating the process using AI, but both principles still exist, and the end goal is definitely to win over some of our mediator friends to help sort of grow the bridge.
Yeah, so like the Kleros, so the Harmony bot, I don't know if it's going to necessarily, replace mediators as we traditionally see them. But what about the kind of smaller consumer claims that, you are not going to put a mediator for like the $200 case that those that Kleros solves for this exchange called Lemon. In this case, you could have a bot automating this mediation part of the process or settlement part of the process, which would be kind of half mediator, half customer service, if you want, a bot. I can imagine this type of GPT tools being useful for that, because you have now a mediation part of the process, which is way cheaper than a human. And then you have the arbitration part of the process made by Kleros, which is also way cheaper than traditional dispute resolution systems. So I imagine this design of the dispute system to be very good for like a smaller claims, the Lemon kind of exchange, fintech, the small insurance claims. So those kind of situation. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's, these things are going to be a bit of an evolution, and you have to start somewhere. It's not about to replace mediation or mediators anytime soon, but it certainly provides an attractive alternative when paired with Kleros for Even if it's a non-binding opinion, if parties don't want to spend any money, the dispute isn't particularly that large, rather than paying $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever it is, $100 an hour for a mediator, you potentially could have could use the bot, and you could get an outcome that might actually suffice. It's mediation as a form of ADR is probably the most flexible, potentially quickest, potentially cheapest form. And what we are proposing here is Ed with Kleros is a super slick, super low cost version of ADR that is available to everybody and anybody, potentially for free. Given that the GPT store is a free service if you pay their monthly fee currently, but that may well change. They might open it up to everybody soon, minus the fee. So I think it is an encouraging combination, and it does align with the democratization of justice.
Definitely. Also, we have been playing a bit with another application of mediation bot besides Harmony. This is not a mediation bot. It's more like a copyright infringement bot. I don't think we have publicly said this. I don't know, Rob. I will let you decide if you want to say this publicly or not. Your call.
Yeah, I mean, we can do. We can. Yeah, and it's fine. Yeah. So the idea behind this is in sort of IP infringement, in particular with logos or with use of people's visual sort of IP. How you essentially deal with that is something known as substantial similarity. Now, I think Federico has done many different studies with various people over the years, and it's quite a well-known thing that it's something that Kleros can potentially tackle in many different forms. And again, looking at it from a gateway perspective and using AI as a combination, we could well have a tool that essentially uses AI to assess the say percentage similarity of an image, and if that kicks out an ambiguous result or something that might benefit from human judgment, why not bring Kleros in at that point and say, well, okay, the machine doesn't really know here, it's kind of on the fence, push it to Kleros, and then you get the binary or the ranked choice vote, and that then feeds into the bigger picture of the likelihood on the balance of probabilities it being copyright infringing. These sort of ideas, and it stems from the sort of double whammy of, if people are prepared to use AI, why not sort of push Kleros at the same time as the balance, so that it's not just an AI centric thing. It's there's a human element to it, but that human element to it is super affordable, super slick, and a representative of a fair and unbiased judgment. So yeah, that's the line of thought.
Yeah, so we cannot say much more about this bot, but super exciting because it's kind of how systems work for detecting copyright infringement in like platforms like YouTube. They have this algorithm called Content ID that detects similarities between videos that were uploaded and videos that are copyrighted, and then if they detect a high similarity, they scan. This goes to like a human to verify whether this is an infringement or not. So it's a combination between automated tools and humans to make your decision. Of course, in YouTube, this is a process done in a black box, and the user doesn't really know what's going on. They don't have any, idea about the algorithm that is being used. They have no idea if there are biases or not. So it's like a black box type of traditional Web 2 process. This work we have been doing can open this content ID type of process to something that is seen as more transparent and fair, and which has a higher chance of being adopted in the sense of this being fair to all of the different stakeholders that take part in this transaction. Still really early days work, and so we'll see how it evolves, but this is something that excites me, and that I think it's a great combination of AI and Kleros to solve an actual problem that exists in a lot of content platforms. Okay, so that about Rob. So thank you for all those explanations about your work with GPTs, and well, I'll see you in a few days, I guess.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Freddy.
Okay, so we have that. Yesterday we had open Twitter Spaces, or X Spaces, and it's called now, where we interviewed Joel Gomez Trevino, who is a Mexican lawyer, and he explained how this process worked for putting decentralized justice into this new bill that was passed by the Mexican Congress on new methods of dispute resolution. We had interview. Joel is a very well-known lawyer, very long trajectory. He has been working on the internet, he was saying, since 1995, so before the internet existed almost. So he explained all that went into, Mexico developing this new dispute resolution bill, and then his involvement there. He basically wrote all of the section about online dispute resolution, and in that section he included the technologies that he sees as more higher potential for being adopted in the future. One of those is automated systems like AI, and another one is decentralized justice. So this is the first time that decentralized justice, to my knowledge, is actually part of legislation of a country. Of course, they couldn't put Kleros because they don't put brands into legislation. But this is the way in which they define decentralized justice as incentive system of community peers for resolving disputes. Was what we basically have been pushing at Kleros for a long time. So it's Kleros. We could say that Kleros is in some way part of the Mexican law, and this opens a number of opportunities that are, I would say, hard to quantify at this moment, as there has been a lot of interest in understanding how these systems work. I'm going to go to Mexico in the week of March 11 for a conference on consumer dispute resolution organized by Telefónica, which is an important telecommunications company from Latin America and Spain. And in this context, I'm going to have a couple of meetings with different companies and government officials in order to see what are the prospects for implementing Kleros systems into consumer dispute resolution in a similar way to the experiment we have been doing with Lemon in Argentina. The way in which we have thought about that system, the design of the dispute system, is basically agnostic to blockchain. This can work in a crypto exchange like Lemon, but it can also work perfectly well in a fintech traditional company like Voila in Argentina, or some like a new banks like a new bank. So even Mercado Pago, all of the different type of companies that do payments. So that is potentially a very interesting segment where, as I said, the user and the company that hires the service, they don't have to interact at all with blockchain. They don't even, it's okay that they know that it's blockchain because that gives them the transparency, but they don't need to themselves hold tokens or use, MetaMask or, any of that. That is done under the hood for a better user experience, right? So Mexico, week of the 11th of March. So if you are in Mexico or people from Mexico who would like to meet me, I'm open for that. So that's going to be a big thing. And we want to push this type of consumer types of systems as much as we can. Then another big news for this week. I was dying to let you know about this in the last few days. So we have been invited to this conference called World Government Summit, which is a very important conference that takes place in Dubai. It's organized by the Office of the Prime Minister of Dubai, the Emirates, and to showcase everything related to government innovation. You can, for example, see in the last year website, the government of France presenting a tool to increase the efficiency of the legal system. Other governments, I think there was one from Bogota, and it was a biotechnology tool to, regenerative forest. So lots of different applications of innovation into government. And this year they have considered, Kleros as a good example of something they want to show us, how one could use technologies like blockchain in order to create better dispute systems in the sense of more efficiency, higher fairness, all the things that you know already. So Kleros is going to be showcased in a subsection of this big conference. It's called the Edge of Government Summit. As I understand, this is like a invite-only part of the conference where different people, delegations are going to just walk by, and then there's a bunch of stands where each of the, I think it's 7 or 8 projects that were chosen for this year can present their solution to this audience. So these delegations will include the CEO of big multinational corporations. It's going to include heads of state. It's going to include heads of big NGOs. So it's going to be like a extremely high level, highly curated public to which we can basically show what Kleros is in like a very short pitch of maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but they will, see what we have done and how this could help them increase the efficiency of the justice systems in the sense of increasing the efficiency of small claims courts, for example, in some cases, and in other cases, for a corporate audience, how they can use this for higher satisfaction of customers because you give them a more transparent system for solving their disputes, as we have been doing with Lemon. So it's going to be super exciting. It's going to be, I imagine, very intense 3 days. But yeah, looking forward very much to that. And I already knew this last week. I couldn't mention it, but so now I'm happy I could do it. So this is another very, very important news that we have for this week. Okay, I will let some of the other guys speak a bit. Maybe, I don't know, Alex, you have anything that you want to mention?
Yes, I can say some words on the DAO side. So basically on the DAO side, we are going to have we have some Kleros team member from Argentina that are in Lisbon, basically at the block. So we are working together on some different topic, and basically in 2 weeks there is this meetup organized by Gnosis, basically, and we are going to do a talk there. So Facundo and myself around governance, basically multi-sig and constitutional DAO. So yeah, if some of the listeners here are based in Lisbon, feel free to join. but the talk will be recorded as well. So yes, you will be able to find it easily on the internet. So that's one thing that's happening. We are going to have some also a couple of Twitter space related to DAO. So in the coming weeks, we will have one with Otoko, that is a legal framework for DAO that we are in partnership with. So we are going to do a Twitter space with them, a bit of co-marketing as well. Next month in March, we are going to have a Twitter space as well with LexDAO. They are doing a lot of things in a legal framework, and the goal would be also to push the conversation of the synergies between traditional legal system and Kleros, basically, and everything related to Web3. So that are the few that are some of the events we are going to do in terms of marketing and co-marketing. I'm also talking with Event Horizon. It's a project, it's a meta governance project. It's very interesting what they are doing. They are allowing retail basically to be involved in some governance of some different projects, and they could leverage Kleros in some way. So I'm talking with them. So yeah, and also looking at what's going on with around governance in several big DAOs. GB, our dev tech lead, share basically a really interesting tool. It's called x23.ai. If you are interested in governance, it can be very useful as well to have a look at this one. It's a good way to have a summary of the DAO, the proposals of some going on in big DAOs, the pros and the cons. So it's a good way. So I'm also looking at everything relating to governance. So yeah, that's mostly it from my side.
Did they already put a Argentinian flag in the block?
Yeah, to be honest, Federico, today I have tried for the first time in my life the mate, the drink, and that's super good.
Oh, really? I mean, there is a mixed opinions from, people from other countries taking mate. I mean, I once gave some mate to an American guy, and what he said is this: it's like drinking a swamp. I mean, you could say it looks like drinking a swamp for sure. So
it's not too bad. Yeah. It's a bit bitter, but it's not too bad. But it's Argentinians are taking over Lisbon, definitely.
It's like the block is a colony of Buenos Aires,
yes,
crypto community now.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Alex. Marcos.
Yep. Hey, we have some updates from the PD side. This was a week with a lot of movement. We had quite a lot of calls. First of all, we have an update about Local Money. Local Money is a decentralized P2P marketplace, and it's advancing with Kleros in a recognition of jurisdiction integration. They've been in touch with us for, I think it was since July of last year, and now we are advancing again to the recognition of jurisdiction integration. Then we do have a call with Story Protocol, who is building an open IP infrastructure and wants to use Kleros port for dispute resolution. The same for them. We were in touch with them for the first time. I think it was in September of last year, and now we get to have a new call with them, and they will advance in this this integration. Then one of the BD members, Sharon, is exploring the escrow solution. Maybe we can bring him the next week so that he can tell us a bit more about this. Do you think this is a good idea, Federico?
Yeah, also we are developing the escrow 2.0, and we are also planning the campaign for launching it, and we have a bunch of ideas of things we could do. But yeah, absolutely, if we can join, definitely. I'm not going to come next week because I'm going to be at the Dubai conference, but yeah, I mean, he's free, definitely.
Yeah, we should. I should message him so that he can give these updates in the next community call. And well, one last thing about Large Scout. Now the Kleros court is listed as tabs that can be interacted with them with their apps marketplace. So yeah, again, this week we have a lot of movement, a lot of calls. We too had a call with Lemon. We used to have it. We used to have a monthly call with them, and well, we had it on Monday. We are going to be doing some updates there too. So yeah, that's all from the BD side.
Thank you, Marcos. I understand there is someone who wants to play football against us.
Oh yeah.
Twitter?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter too. Yeah, I think it's a team of young people from Argentina. What should be a difficult rival. I think Juan knows them, but of course, yeah, we are going to accept that match and most probably win it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's not.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's not a team itself. It's like the football group of crypto football and synergies like that we play weekly, and they were like saying that Kleros was like the rumors say that we were like a good team, and I told him, okay, if you wanna try, let's play. So yeah, we arranged like informally a match, and yeah, we will let's do it on March maybe. And
you have been playing with them, right, Juan? I think you played yesterday.
Yeah. They are not a team.
If you have to bet, who you said is going to be the winner?
It depends a lot. Like imagine, like yesterday we were 16, and so there are like some. If they choose the best 5 to play, it will be tied. It will be like a good match. Depends a lot of who are the ones that play on the other side. Yeah, I think like we will have a good team. I'm not sure if Federico will show up, but also when the guys return from BlizzCon.
I mean, if I don't play, it's not an official match, basically, you know.
Yeah, you need to come.
Yeah. Okay, we'll arrange this, but they have no idea. I mean, do they know that we have never been beaten?
Yeah, I told him. I told them yesterday, and also so they know and they want to break the strike.
Okay.
And also, it's not decided yet, but I'm talking with the guys from the Argentinian community of Solar, like this fantasy soccer game, like they're like people very immersed in the community, and we might also do a match in March. So maybe we can just make it so that in the same week we play both matches. And in case you come, Federico,
well, you know, Soler kicked our ass in the tournament in Paris, but I have to say that they made us play with some very weird French rules where the goalkeeper cannot go out of the area and the striker, you know, cannot go inside. It was and also with walls around the field. So it was a weird way to play football. If we play with normal rules, I think we could win.
Totally. And yeah, these guys are like just from the community, not from the team. But I guess they will be good. But with Argentinian rules, I have faith. So yeah, we'll keep you updated if there's a match they arrange.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And last but not least, let's go to Joao Gaúcho, our Brazilian player with the community news.
I'll train during February to help us win in March.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually going to Brazil, so maybe I'll get some inspiration there. But so we have a couple of things. We launched the new revamped curate program that it's now. It now rewards submissions on various blockchains, not only the ones that we chose. So there's lots of contracts that are very popular that are not tagged yet, and it's a good opportunity to tag them and get a good reward. We have now capped the amount of rewards per submission, so it's easier for submitters to know a bit more how much they can earn, and it's more equitable because it's there's no submission that earns, for example, 10% of the pool. It's more more well distributed. And well, there are other efforts to get more submissions in the registry, and it's getting more complete every day. And probably by next week there will be an exchange on Gnosis chain that will be adopting Kleros as one of the default lists. So that's nice too. It's nice to see some adoption. And there's a block explorer that will add us in their list of apps, and probably in the future add the lists as well. So this is for Curate. We have for Proof of Humanity. Yesterday, Rarimo launched an integration with Proof of Humanity. So Rarimo basically aggregates information from different identity providers, and they make it very easy for platforms or applications that want to check if a user is unique to connect the information from the original provider with the platform. So, for example, you can just connect your account on a platform that uses Rarimo, and it will check if you're registered on Proof of Humanity. And for example, one of the protocols that integrated called Talent Protocol, different than Talent Layer, but it's a protocol that's basically a LinkedIn on Web3. And if you connected your account that is registered on Proof of Humanity, you earn some experience points in their platform because they know you are a unique user and not a Cebu trying to gain their platform. And yeah, we have been working on lots of things for Proof of Humanity to get it ready to launch. There's no date yet, but we are moving faster now. And some other things that I would like to mention is that we had some issues with notifications on Gnosis and on mainnet that are now fixed. As Federico said in the chat, the systems that we have now are kind of old, and everything must be redone and is being redone for the V2.
That's a euphemism. A kind of old is a euphemism. Yeah, we could
there's technology that humanity doesn't know how it works anymore.
We have there's a monkey on a bicycle powering the system. That's why sometimes a monkey gets tired and fails. Yeah, we will fix it. Yeah, we know. Yeah.
So yeah, we have a new person that. Yeah, we're really sorry about the inconveniences, and I'm trying to share whenever there's a new case on the chats just to make sure people are receiving the notifications. And the last couple of cases that I was able to check, it's working now. But well, if you can, please double check if you had any cases or notifications. But we have now someone new taking care of this, right? That is right now on the onboarding in Lisbon. So I'm pretty confident that it will get better even before the V2. And,
yeah. Also,
in
the last, just to mention that in the last, couple of months, we hired like 5 new developers, and so we are organizing the work so they can take the different projects that we are basically reorganizing the development work based on the new 5 developers we have. So we will start resolving lots of bottlenecks we have now, but it's happening.
Yeah, I think it can be noticed because we have been having more updates with the V2, and when there's something broken, it gets fixed a little bit quickly than before. But I feel that it's well, it will get even better, right? And about the V2, there was some issues reported, and they are now fixed. I just voted, I think today, yes, this morning on the case, and I was able to reveal it, and it's now working back again. And there's so I would like to ask you to stake again on the V2, because now both the notifications and the case, the voting is working, and you will not be unstaked. And there's also lots of new updates that are not ready yet to publish, but they will be published soon. And I believe it will be another significant step towards the V2. And yeah, I think that's it for me. Well, there's more, but the most important part.
Let's come here so I can get some mate before my Age of Empires game. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, guys, thank you for coming. As I said, I mean, next week I'm not going to be here because I'm going to be to the conference in Dubai. So, but I will see Rob, so we will be together there. Yeah, well, thank you all for coming, and see you, well, in my case, in 15 days. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.
Hi, Brian.
Cheers.
See you.